This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flo's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flo's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flo retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Wednesday, May 11, and time for your Barbados Day noon update. I'm Kamar Jordan. Thanks for joining us. We begin with sad news at this hour. Veteran cricket commentator Tony Cozier is dead. He passed away this morning at the Bayview Hospital in St. Michael, where he was undergoing medical treatment. Cozier, who's been waging a lengthy battle with cancer, was 75 years old. He leaves to mourn his wife, Gillian, son Craig, and daughter Natalie. Barbados Day family joins with the rest of the media fraternity in extending sincerest condolences to his family at this time. In other news at this hour, police are on the hunt for two male suspects who fatally shot a St. Michael businessman last night. According to lawmen, sometime after 7:30 p.m., Colin Ford was sitting outside his business place, Colin's Sports Bar and Lounge, at Baxter's Road, St. Michael, when he was accosted and shot by two unknown assailants. Ford was taken to the QEH, where he later succumbed to his injuries. Police say the two culprits ran off in the direction of the playing field at Passage Road, St. Michael. They are asking anyone with information that can assist them in their investigations to call 430-7189 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-8477. Meantime, criminal charges are pending in connection with the murder of 57-year-old Veldene Hinds of Carrington Village, St. Michael. You may recall that Hinds was shot in the head on May 1 while traveling as a passenger in a vehicle along Barbary Hill, St. Michael. She died 3 days later at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. Lawmen say a man is in custody assisting them with those investigations. In other developments, it's nothing short of unconscionable. That's how Opposition Leader Mia Montley has reacted to a move by the Friend Stewart administration to restore a 10% pay cut to cabinet ministers and other members of Parliament. Speaking during yesterday's No Confidence debate, Ms. Montley revealed that the formal notice was given to the House of Assembly last Tuesday of the move. Government has laid the Ministers and Parliamentary Secretaries Remuneration and Allowance Order 2016 and the Senators House of Assembly Remuneration and Allowance Order 2016. While declaring that members of the Barbados Labour Party would not have none of it, Montley insists it's both disrespectful and uncaring for government to benefit from a pay increase at this time, particularly when ordinary Barbadians are being made to hold strain.
The public servants of Barbados who were sent home by the NCC in May of 2014 are yet to get money for a separation package, but you have ministers and parliamentarians putting themselves at the head of the trough. And I know, Mr. Speaker, that you cannot have public servants. You cannot have public servants being the victims of a wage freeze in this country since 2010. 2010. I come into that too. And that this government can inappropriately, insensitively, and without any sense of self-respect, put themselves at the top of the line, not just to spend $9–10 million on independence, but to increase all ministers, parliamentarians, senators, everybody's salary in these precincts by 10% from what they were getting last month, last year, and the year before.
But in defense of the move, Tourism Minister Richard Seeley shot back, accusing the opposition leader of playing political games. Mr. Seeley was adamant that the move does not amount to a pay hike, but a restoration of the 10% pay cut, which the MPs on both sides of their House agreed to in January 2014. He also accused the opposition Barbados Labour Party of taking a one-sided approach when the government had met on the agreement.
It's interesting, all of the hullabaloo, but when we decided to take the cut, I don't remember the leader of the opposition or anyone getting up and commending the government ministers and parliamentary secretaries for taking the decision that we should, in essence, demonstrate some sacrifice. In fact, there were people who publicly said that they were against it. And that is the reality. I don't mind, Mr. Speaker. It has to work both ways. You see, this one-sided approach. We agreed up front that in solidarity with the government's adjustment program, we would take a 10% cut on our remuneration. We agreed to that. Now, that program was extended on 2 occasions, and we agreed to extend what we were doing on those 2 occasions. Far from the government being criticized for any increase, we should be, again, commended for showing solidarity during the adjustment period. And we haven't got any increases. We're only restituted what was there before.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
To regional news now, where the number of Zika cases in the Caribbean continues to rise. That's the warning from the head of the Trinidad-based Caribbean Public Health Agency, Dr. James Hospitales, who says the mosquito-borne virus is now present in 37 countries. More now in this TV6 News report.
It's spread at the rate of about 1 per week for every 10 days since it entered the community in late last year. About the same rate as chikungunya spread. Despite much increased public education, despite increased vector control, this virus has just been rolling on through. And for many member states where the rainy season has arrived, as that sets in, the number can be expected to climb.
CARPA and the government plan to engage in a rigid week of initiatives promoting mosquito eradication methods across the country as part of Mosquito Awareness Week. It's the first of its kind since being approved by CARICOM in 2014. The theme for 2016, Small Bite, Big Threat.
The ease of spread of these mosquito-borne viruses, dengue, chikungunya the last couple of years, Zika, represents a big hole in our regional health security.
On the international front, the city of Baghdad is reeling from one of the worst attacks in recent times. At least 64 people were killed after a car bomb exploded in a crowded market in the Iraqi capital. The so-called militant group Islamic State has accepted responsibility for the deadly attack. Hours later, 2 other car bombs were detonated in 2 different areas, killing over a dozen people. We get details now in this BBC report.
The attack happened in a very busy open-air market street in the Shia district of Sadr City at a time where it would be at its busiest. So this is why the death toll is rising all the time. There are many people who are very critically injured. And as you said, there's a sort of a steady drumbeat of violent attacks that Islamic State group is launching.
And finally, embattled Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff makes a last-ditch move to the Supreme Court to block impeachment proceedings against her. Her attempt comes just hours before a crucial Senate vote.
Standing with her supporters, the Brazilian president remains defiant.
A história vai mostrar e vai mostrar.
History will show that because I am a woman, I am more resilient and more of a fighter. Many times, even today, they wanted me to step down, but stepping down has never crossed my mind.
As the Senate prepares to vote on whether or not to subject President Rousseff to a full impeachment trial, her supporters say what's really happening is a coup. Dilma Rousseff denies the charges she illegally hid the size of the deficit. On Monday, President Rousseff seemed to be thrown a lifeline when the interim Speaker of the lower house of Congress said the process should be annulled. But a mere 12 hours later, he withdrew that decision. In a final attempt to stay in office, the embattled president has gone to the Supreme Court to block impeachment proceedings. The vote later on Wednesday is expected to suspend Dilma Rousseff, pending trial in the Senate. So for now, the world watches on, waiting for the next twist in this political drama.
And on that note, we end our afternoon update, but there's more news and sports online at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper email updates or like us on Facebook. And if you're moving around Barbados Today this afternoon, we ask you to be careful and also to tune in to Izumi Media in bus terminals or Screenplay in a supermarket or a gas station near you. We're also on Channel 99, on Flow TV, and on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Kamar Jordan. Have a wonderful afternoon, and we'll see you again at 6 this evening.